Yep.
Data Ranger.
Oh yeah, and that's what the topic is tonight, guys. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Man, what a fucking blowback! Like I just watching those episodes and then going further and watching how each season changed a little bit. Wild,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Seriously,
Man.
I can't tell you how many times I've watched seasons 1 through probably 5, I think, up until Turbo.
yeah. I might have seen Turbo too. Yeah, I kind of
Yeah,
like.
I love the idea of Ninjor like creating the coins. Like when you find out, after they made the movie and everything, they had to have an excuse why they couldn't explain it through the movie. They had to do a new kind of take on it. But I guess we'll get there later in the show. But Ninjor is one of my favorite characters. I love him.
Yeah, SPD has been the one show that completed my watch on the most, and pretty much what I see is the best. But here we have the original Power Rangers from the original series.
The Green Ranger, Jason David Frank. He auditioned for the Red Ranger when the Red Ranger's name was Victor. So they actually changed the name of the Red Ranger after because they wanted Jason David Frank to be they wanted him to be either in VR Troopers or as Kamen Rider. They wanted him to be something, but he just took over the whole thing after the Green with Evil series.
Huh. Yeah, we're not actually talking about the 5-part episode event from season 1, right?
No, yeah, we are the Green with Evil. Yeah. I'm just saying that after he left, because he was only supposed to stay around. He was supposed to pass his powers on to the Red Ranger, and then he was going to go off and do either Kamen Rider or he was going to be the main character in VR Troopers. But the kids they wrote in and they were like, "Where did Tommy go? We want Tommy back. He's we idolize Tommy." And so
they thought he was so fucking cool with that long hair.
Yeah, he did,
like, dude. Jason's the fucking leader. End it.
Seriously, yeah. You have no idea how bad I wanted long hair.
It does that to you, man. You're like, oh man, that guy does kind of look cool, but at the same time, it's like, nope.
Yeah, I mean, he had his own theme song in the show. I mean, it was just he was a awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame we lost him 3 years ago. I mean, I saw a video of Tyrone Magnus paying his respect to him, and it's a pity that he kind of died from some kind of crazy accident or something.
Yeah, well,
21 years after we lost the Yellow Ranger actress from Vietnam.
Yeah, Thuy Trang. Yeah. Yeah. It was unfortunate. I actually met Jason David Frank twice.
Wow!
I saw him. He did his first pro MMA fight in Houston, and I drove over there, and I got to meet him. I was a magician at the time. Like I was at a bar and street magician, and so I did a couple of card tricks for him and got him to sign a deck of cards for me, and I still have that picture. It was a great fight. He made the guy tap out in like 46 seconds. And the guy was 100 pounds heavier than him. It was incredible.
Holy
shit! Where did he train then? Because I know with fighters, depending on the country, it's actually different fighting styles, and techniques and stuff. Like in the West, we're all more dependent on strength. Where if you go to East, it's all speed, like your agility and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, he has his own martial art that he created. Rising, is it Rising Sun Karate? He had his own studio in Houston, and he was really into martial arts his entire life. I mean, and not just one style either. I mean, he did jujitsu. He did kickboxing. I think was one of them. He was a black belt in like 4 or 5 different styles of martial arts. So,
Which,
go ahead.
yes, sir. Oh no, I was going to say which a lot of people in those circumstances do start doing their own techniques and stuff due to the fact of how high up they are in multiple, like fighting styles.
Exactly. I mean, look at Bruce Lee. I mean, he took
Yeah.
Jeet Kune Do, and he made or was it? Yeah, he made Jeet. He took Jeet Kune Do and made Wing. Or no, it was the opposite. He took Wing Chun and made Jeet Kune Do out of that, which is his own style.
Because
Yeah,
he was trained by someone else
yeah,
in China, Bruce Lee.
yeah,
Trying to-
exactly. Yeah.
And and the person who trained him was very famous over there or something.
Oh yeah, he was trained by
wasn't-
one of the best, and
Yeah,
that's why the society over there that that kind of educates people on martial arts. They didn't want the martial arts to get out, and that was the whole thing with Bruce Lee. Is he wanted to share it with everybody, and he really, I mean, he had a lot of difficulties with his movies and stuff, filmmaking with the Chinese government or the Chinese karate institutions or whatever over there. So
From what I
he
remember is that they told him, if teaching these things, if you do that, it's kind of like a curse that happens to you, and
Wow.
it was
Well-
like apparently the curse that killed him to a lot of people back in the 90s, and his son, just kind of,
Wow.
but he wanted to bring it to the world. He thought it was, important to do that.
Yeah, there was kind of like wanting to see Brainiac finally make his live action movie appearance in film. Yeah, that's been one of the things that bothered me about Hollywood lately for over 3 years since I learned just how messed up Warner Brothers is. But don't get me wrong, there's been other big studios have gone through the same problems with management.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
And
I'm
just
gonna be. I was just gonna say I'm gonna be doing because I started my own channel obviously through Power Rangers and because of Jason David Frank. I have like a whole shrine of just green and white Ranger stuff, And so I started this channel last year in April, because of him. And I've been wanting to do like a really long form video honoring Jason David Frank,
Nice.
and I'm still working on it because I want it to be perfect, Like he was my idol. So anyway, go ahead. Sorry about that.
All right. Anyway, the show kind of starts off with five Rangers before the sixth was introduced. There were usually, in this original series, you would see the cast of the Rangers at a gym.
Yep.
No, a juice bar. It was a juice bar that kind of like had a gym in it. It was it was weird, but Ernie.
Well, the place seems to
Ernie's
have
juice
like
bar.
all sorts of things
This.
during the whole entire series.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off.
Well, what's cool is they used to have places like that back in the 90s where there'd be video games, maybe like a small basketball area, and like a place to get snacks.
It's true.
But out in California, I think where they are, that shit was like taken to a different level. Whereas on the East Coast, we had like a knockoff of that, but on the West Coast, they had like serious teenager hangout areas, kind of keep them off the streets, keep them off of drugs, sort of thing.
Yep, teenagers with attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of actually, when I heard that, I was just like, "You said what now?" Like,
yeah,
oh my
I know,
God.
right? It's like,
It's
Zordon,
like teenagers
are you a competent leader here? I mean, I don't know if that's the demographic you want to go for heroes, but your call.
No, we don't want leaders. We don't want people who follow rules or anything like that. No, we need teenagers with attitude.
Exactly.
That's like, as long as you had that, that's it. You're a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
We want a bunch of jerks. Yeah.
And I was just thinking, damn, the 90s were just way out there.
Yeah.
I forgot how it was. Because so used to nowadays, but 90s were great.
Oh yeah, and the late 80s.
And Like
Yeah.
for us, we will say that, but older generations or younger ones would probably say no, it wasn't. Blah blah. It's like yeah, but for us, it was great. It was
Yeah.
good.
That's a
Yeah.
good game, by the way. Rita's Rewind. I play it on my stream all the time. Well, I
Oh,
used
yeah.
to.
Yeah. The juice bar. Yeah, it features the juice bar.
Yeah, that's like the central hub where you can change characters and stuff and talk to people and unlock. You can even unlock those arcade games in the back. It's a really fun game. I think they could have done more with the Zord fights, but for a beat 'em up game, it was a really good game.
Yep. Very good game. And it also featured diversity without being forced. I mean,
Yes.
Exactly.
And that was the
exactly.
best thing
That was the thing back
about
then in the
yeah.
90s. Was like everyone in the team should be something different, not a gang of white people or a gang of black people. It was
Yeah.
like they were from all walks. Yeah.
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah, and that was the best thing about the 80s and 90s and all that sort of stuff. We had that. It was in there. No one really cared.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
just natural. Like you didn't see the color of the skin. I mean, you just saw a group of diverse people, and you're like, yeah, that's the way it is at my school. I mean, it's no different. Now it's kind
Exactly.
of forced
And
down our throats. But
yeah,
Yep.
and you've got the typical as well. Like you've got the Red Ranger was more likely, like I guess the brackets jock type of individual.
mhm.
Yeah, and then you got the blue one who's the nerd
Yeah,
as well. Because you look at it, because he created the watch that they got
Yep.
in the first episode as well.
well, yeah. Well, not only that, but the rad bug when their watches
Yeah.
weren't working and their morphers weren't working and they couldn't go to the command center. He had that little bug that he made that could fly, and they would fly him to the command center so they could see what was going on. Yeah, he made all sorts of devices that saved the day.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true. Plenty of devices, and I believe this guy's name is that has done the Blue Ranger suit is called Billy.
Billy, yeah,
Yeah.
Billy Cranston is his full name. Yeah.
Yeah, he even kind of looks like the guy with the glasses that got himself eaten by the Tyrannosaurus Rex from the 1997 Lost World movie. When you, yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
there's something about him that says, just smart scientist. I wonder if it's just glasses. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the glasses.
Glasses.
Throughout the season, they phased those out because it started to really irritate
Yeah.
his eyes. So they just made it like he got contacts, but they wanted to emphasize the nerdiness of him and
Yeah.
Exactly.
the genius. So he had to wear those glasses, and
And
they
that's the
couldn't
thing.
take
I
out
mean,
the lens. So
back then,
yeah.
imagine a nerd that was involved with like computer sciences,
Yeah.
involved with a jock. That wasn't common. So to be able
Exactly.
to bring them together, that's
Well,
smart. Yeah.
The whole entire group wouldn't have been common because they're all different. You got like the
Yeah.
Pink Rangers, the
Yeah, you got like the high school quarterback type of character. You got the prettiest girl in school. You got like the really smart Asian chick that's also hot, and then you got
the black guy was like
the black guy.
musical dance.
Yeah, he could dance a break dance, even though he wasn't very good with girls. If you notice in some episodes, he didn't really
Yeah.
have the smoothness. But then you had Billy the nerd. I mean, you had them all, and they were just best friends.
Yep, they sure.
Yeah, they actually
Yeah,
became
that whole
pretty
awkwardness was cool.
good friends very quickly as well. And they also helped each other out when they needed to, which made it even better. Like you had one episode where the yellow helped out the nerdy guy at one point because
yeah.
he was scared of fighting and stuff, so she came along and helped him. Like
Exactly.
you could sit and say, oh, she's bad, like common day woman, toughness, but no, it doesn't matter. Back then, we didn't care. Like she
No.
kicked ass and all that sort of stuff, and it was fine.
Yeah.
And,
She was like
but yeah,
she was like the Bruce Lee character because she did like a lot of Wing Chun stances and forms and stuff like that.
And she was
But
like,
again,
deep into
they
like
all
different
helped each
cultures
other
and
out.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, so they all helped each other out, which made their bond with each other better. And it actually did go through the whole entire, you see that through the whole entire season, that how good friends they really do become.
Yeah. And eventually Bulk and Skull too. I mean, they even though in the beginning they kind of bullied this group and they always got stuff
Oh yeah.
spilled on them
Yeah.
and stuff. Throughout the seasons, they became
Oh, yeah.
friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the comic relief bullies.
Oh
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
I really got to download that sound effect so I can play it on my stream. The song that plays when they come on scene.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These
it was funny when
comments.
you see these two turn up, and it's like, oh, okay, what crap are they going to do this time? Sort of-
Yeah. The number one comic reliefs of the show.
God, yeah, they were and they're good people too. I've seen so many interviews of people that worked with them and stuff, and said they were just some of the nicest people you could ever work with.
Isn't that funny when it comes to like TV and movies? Is the person that on film plays the biggest asshole or like the coolest people behind the scenes?
Yeah.
It's like, dude,
Yeah.
he's nothing like that. Yeah, he or she,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to go off topic, but you had something like Robert Williams. You always know him as a comic person, always funny and all that sort of stuff. But when he played his very dark, serious character, like if you actually go through this, listen to it, he'll play it, and he hated playing it because of how dark the person had to be. Was he's a serial killer. But when he's offset, he will quickly try and change and try and make that, start laughing, all that, just to get that, I
Yeah.
guess, brackets vibe and all that sort of off of him. Type
Dude,
of
yeah,
thing. And then-
actors go through some fucking serious mental changes, man. And,
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah,
Look,
they,
look
they
at
work
Heath
hard at it.
Ledger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Heath Ledger.
Hands down, best Batman ever. I get shit for that from a lot of like people that love the first two, but dude,
he played a good Joker, and so did the other one in the 19.
the original.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah,
So Jack Nicholson,
Both of
he
them
was
did the
talking to
best.
Jack Nicholson on the phone and like through chats and like learning how to go deep diving into this. And Jack Nicholson told him it was a lot of drugs. It was a lot of like living and acting and being crazy. Like he drove himself crazy. And Heath Ledger was like, okay, hold my beer. I'll do that.
Yeah.
And he did
Seriously.
a great job. Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
not only
Ledger
that,
did
but
a
if you
great
see the
job.
movie that he did after that, which
yes,
the
which even drove it even more.
Man, yeah, the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
Mhm.
That was a really dark movie, and that he
I
actually
never
passed
saw that.
away during the
Yeah, I
filming of
think-
that.
Yeah, that's when he
Yeah, that's when he
ended-
passed away.
passed away, was during that movie because they had to then recast him.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Jude Law and Johnny Depp came in for the dream sequences to
As well
to
as Andrew
film.
Garfield.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, I used to
Sorry.
have the biggest crush on Kimberly, by the way.
Oh, dude,
The
me
Pink
too.
Ranger?
I still do. Amy Jo Johnson.
Yeah,
I
man.
actually,
Yeah,
um,
still around.
I supported her Kickstarter like I guess it
Oh,
was
nice.
like 15 years ago or something, and
Yeah.
I got to the level where she sent me like a personal message. It was really cool. It was,
That's cool as shit.
it was just like a 15-second like thank you so much, Brandon, for supporting the Kickstarter. We it means so much. So it was cool.
Oh, man, that's so cool.
I have to admit, like rewatching the Power Rangers, I actually thought that the bad lady was actually I think she's quite hot as well.
Right?
Oh,
Right?
Rita
I just noticed that
Repulsa.
too. I was like, dude,
I
she's,
just-
I never noticed.
Yeah,
she
it's
was
like-
kinda cute.
Yeah, I think I would help the evil for little bit. Yeah, no worries.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
That's
they
funny.
they did have to recast her because they were using Super Sentai film. So I think after the first season, after they ran out of all the Super Sentai footage, I think they recast her when Lord Zed came, because they had to film stuff with a new, with the new villain and stuff. So
Yeah.
they recast her, and that's the one that I usually think of. But because I've never seen the first one without makeup, so I don't know.
The girl in Wayne's World, the first movie. the
Oh,
Asian chick. What was her
Tia
name?
Carrera.
Tia Carrera. That's what she reminds me of. I know it's
Yeah.
not her, but in the show.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, that kind of looks like her. Yeah.
It could be her sister or something. Yeah, you're right.
Definitely. Yeah, I've also checked her acting credentials online, and she also co-starred with Willa Holland in a movie that takes place in New Mexico. You know,
What's that?
Amy Jo Johnson, or
yes, Amy
yo,
Jo
I think
Johnson.
I think that's the movie that she directed, and I helped kickstart because
Cool.
she's written several movies and directed I think 3 of them so far. She's
Hmm.
put out a couple of albums as well.
You mean Tiger Eyes?
She's like a triple threat or a quadruple threat because she's a gymnast, martial artist, actor, and musician. So and
Wow.
director and writer. I mean, she does it all. It's awesome, and she's still hot as hell.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her in a while. Yeah.
You're talking about
It was a few years ago she popped up. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, she still looks good. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I just saw an interview with her, David Yost, the Blue Ranger, and Walter Jones,
Oh,
the
wow.
Black Ranger.
Yeah.
I think it was just 2 weeks ago, and she still looks so good,
That's awesome.
so
Mhm.
good.
yeah. Even though she's 54 now, right now.
Hey, I'll take it, man. If she's available.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah. Yeah. Same here. Let's take a look at the Red Ranger, who
Okay.
who's always the leader and the main character of each.
Yeah.
Of each.
Hands down, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. He's got the sword. He fucking completes the shit.
Yeah.
You know, am I allowed to cuss on here?
Yeah.
You already have
Okay.
twice, so
Yeah,
I was
gonna say you
wondering.
already have.
I was wondering the same thing too. So I've been
I
trying
didn't
to
want to
keep
keep
it.
going with it though. You know,
Yeah,
you can do
yeah,
like
yeah.
1 or 2, but
See,
I didn't want to
This
get
is
it
why I
wrong.
call him
Yeah.
a redneck.
Redneck Ranger.
Me not have so many words. Me just throw
Yeah.
in words.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to say all the stuff I normally say. So come on.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Me too. So I'm trying to keep it PG-13 at least.
Yeah, PG-13. There we go. All right, I can do that. You get 1 F-bomb per
Yeah.
movie.
I actually didn't. I think I preferred when I was watching it back as a kid. I think I preferred the White Ranger more than anything. I actually
Really?
liked his character more.
Yeah, well,
you-
I did too. Well, I like the Green Ranger overall because that's what started the whole Sixth Ranger phenomenon. I mean, the whole the redemption arc of a bad ranger, being against. I mean, the Green Ranger literally took out the entirety of the original 5 Rangers by
Yes.
himself.
Yeah.
And it was just, I mean, no sweat whatsoever. He just took them out, and they didn't have anything to say about it. And then, after he came back as the White Ranger, I was like, yeah, that looks pretty sick. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because it was white. It was the white lights that Zordon used to power a brand new coin without having Ninjor.
Yeah. Yeah, and Green Ranger is the only other Ranger that is just as athletic as the red one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's almost like a Goku.
I
and
remember
Vegeta
their power
type
struggle.
Of,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and behind the scenes too, I think they had some beef as well.
Dang,
Yeah, but
stuff gets real.
yeah, well, because
Want to go out for a sandwich? No, I hate you. I'll see you tomorrow.
well, no, I don't think it was like that. I think it was more passive aggressive stuff. I think because
Gotcha, yeah.
Jason David Frank was a prankster, so he would put he would put flies in the sandwiches of the other Rangers. Yeah, yeah, he would do he would do some of the craziest stuff, and he has. There's interviews of him telling stories, and even of the other Rangers telling these stories and stuff like that.
That's cool.
So he pranked the hell out of all these guys, and I think Austin St. John, the Red Ranger, kind of got jealous that the kids were wanting the Green Ranger over him when he was supposed to be the leader. So I think they were just.
Dude,
kind of
I remember the hype, and I was like, guys, the Red Ranger is the leader, and they were like, no, dude, this guy's cool. And I'm like, no, he's not cool. He's not the leader.
Yeah. Well, I will give it to you. The Red Ranger was the leader up until the White Ranger came.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, it's that he's the original. He was the OG. So that's why
exactly.
I think and he's also the T-Rex, which is like
exactly. Yeah.
Apex,
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I mean,
not the Apex. Calm down.
Yeah, I mean the Dragon Zord is the Apex, but when they morphed into the Mega Dragon Zord, the T-Rex could stand on its own, helping the Mega Dragon Zord because it couldn't combine with the rest of them.
Yeah.
But I feel like such a nerd saying that's going into all
Oh.
this stuff, but it's awesome.
Mate, we're all nerds. We're all like,
Yeah,
all
I
know
love this.
quite a lot. Like I'm a 40k person, so I'd splurge over that. Most of you guys definitely would probably do the same thing with Rangers, of course.
Oh yeah,
Roadkill has his own stuff that he splurge over, so we're all nerds of something.
Oh, yeah.
So I wouldn't worry about it.
For me, I've built my own proton pack for from Ghostbusters, a life-size proton pack.
Nice.
I customize all my Transformers masterpiece figures. I
Nice.
have Stan Lee signed Thor's hammer. I mean, I'm all over the place with all my nerdiness.
Me too.
Mm.
I mean, like Val and I sat and where did we talk, Val? Were we in Discord? Where we were just talking about
Yeah, it would have
Fallout?
been in Discord.
And you called me out about something, and I was like, damn, he got me. Like, I'm huge on Fallout, and he was like, well, you would have remembered this, and I was like, well, I forgot about that. But
dude, both of y'all need to talk to Stark of Iron because he loves Fallout and Warhammer 40k.
dude, yeah,
He's trying to get me into it. I haven't gotten into it yet, but he has gotten
The
me
lore
into
is-
Invincible.
Yeah, the lore for 40k is so much. Like,
that's surmountable. That's where I'm looking at
Yeah.
that mountain right now, and I'm like, okay, where do I start? Yeah, but
Yeah.
also Diablo and Fallout are probably my nerdiest thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, Stark posted like a one of the watches, I guess, that they wear in Fallout, and
shit,
it's for sale. It looks awesome. Even as somebody that doesn't even know anything about Fallout, I'd be like, hell yeah, I'd wear that.
Interesting.
Yep.
No, yeah, I have 2 different Pip-Boys. One that came with like the special edition Fallout 4 when it first released, and came with like the case that came with a Pip-Boy where you put your iPhone into it, and then another one that has a little bit more metal, and that was, I didn't have kids at the time, so
Mhm.
yeah, I did pay a pretty penny for it, but
Yeah.
it's also a collector's item, so I'm just like, all right, well, I kind of tell myself it was worth it, but nowadays I can't afford stuff like that. I can.
Dude.
I just don't want to. It could go elsewhere.
I hear you, man. I just need 2 more Transformers to complete my season 1 and 2 cartoon
Nice.
collection.
Holy shit.
So
Nice.
so I have like over 100 masterpiece scale Transformers.
Wow.
And I just need 2 more. I've been collecting for like 7 years, and I just need to get those 2 more Protectobots and complete Defensor, and I'm set.
Wow, dude.
I
I've been watching people collect those. That's not easy to do. Sorry, Val. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I will sorry for getting off the topic of the Rangers.
Yeah, I apologize.
Oh no, I mean, yeah. Sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry about that.
No problem, guys. Yeah, Blue Ranger. Yeah, as we all know, Rangers all stick together to fight the forces of evil, and their first
Yep.
main enemy was Rita Repulsa.
Yep.
Rita,
Goldar, Finster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll definitely be evil with her, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, she kind of looks like someone that was stuck in pajamas for years. While wearing-
She hated that outfit so much.
I
Oh,
bet, dude. It
Have
looks
you
like a
seen
lot.
do you look at the chest part where at the beginning of it, like because she at the first seasons it was little cones there
Yeah.
in the chest area, which I thought was like that looks a little bit kind of silly if you
Yeah.
nowadays, but probably back then you probably wouldn't. You probably
Well-
wow, look at those, that looks pretty cool.
It was styled after Madonna's.
Thank you. I was just
yeah.
about
Yeah.
to say that. It was on the
Yeah.
heels of that whole Madonna thing
Yeah.
that people were like digging.
Madonna.
Yeah.
That's where it
Yeah.
came from.
really?
Pop culture. Yeah.
Yeah. Super Sentai filmed in Japan. They had a thing, for those chest cones, as we all did.
Definitely chest cones.
Yeah. They were feminine, but also like metal, like
Yeah.
metal meaning like the whole genre of like that was badass, sort
Yeah.
of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's also interesting is they had people do voiceovers for the actors while they weren't even wearing any masks.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barbara Goodson.
I never got that as a kid. I was like, how come the words aren't matching up, but they sound
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Because it was all in Japan, in Japanese. Yeah. And if you watch the Super Sentai version of this season, it's completely different than what you would see from the American version. The story is completely different. The Green Ranger is actually the brother of the Red Ranger, and
Oh wow.
yeah, so there's a lot of differences with the Super Sentai season
Yeah,
one and the American
That would have been
version.
so much a better
Hi there.
storyline then.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yes,
and he wasn't being controlled. I don't think. I think that it was something to do with the family. Like their father got killed or something like that, and the Green Ranger blamed the Red Ranger, something like that. But
all
yeah,
that sounds so
that would've-
familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a much better story, I
Yeah,
think, than
but
what we got.
but Saban wanted to make it a much more kid friendly and stuff like that.
Nah.
So,
Yeah, they came in hard with that kin friendly stuff because there was like
yeah,
looking back at it as an adult, I'm like, dude, they could have done so much here. And then you're talking about the Japanese version. I'm like, that makes sense. Like there was a lot more that could have been revealed.
That's why if you talk to anybody that is a Super Sentai fan, they're going to be like Super Sentai trumps the American version, and
Absolutely.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree with them only for the love I have for Jason David Frank.
Me
Yep.
too.
Okay.
Yeah, Rita Repulsa is said to be an evil witch or sorceress of sorts.
Yeah,
and what's more iconic is that scepter of hers.
oh yeah, that half moon. Yeah, that looks so cool.
Yeah, with it,
But-
she uses
Iconic,
it
man.
to-
But what's even cooler is when Lord Zed's scepter. That was a villain right there. He scared the crap out of me. Oh, this is when she comes back for the new Once and Always. Yeah, for the machine version of her.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they should have done more to pay homage to the Green Ranger in that episode. But it is what it is.
Yep. Yeah, that scepter is what she uses to make her minions grow into
Make
giants.
my. I think. Oh, wait. I think I actually have. Yeah, hold on, real quick. Let me get to this.
Sure.
Come on, let me find it real quick. There it is.
Whoa, careful! Oh my goodness! Oh god! That could trigger copyright.
It was just a soundbite I had.
Careful.
Yeah, it was only 4 seconds, so.
I hope.
Oh, you're good. Yeah.
Hope so.
You're good. I play it on my streams all the time. I don't get flagged, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm quite weary of copyright.
Yeah,
You should be, especially nowadays.
I-
But I heard if it's less than 10 seconds, and this was from Razor Fist. If it's less than 10 seconds, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I try to keep it to 4 seconds or less just to be safe. So,
Yep.
Thank you.
my
Yeah.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Sean Franklin says, "Have you met Austin St. John's and Walter E. Jones at David Host Comic Con?" No, I have not met them yet.
Neither have I.
I've only met Jason David Frank and gotten a virtual message from Amy Jo Johnson, which is fine with me.
Yeah, they've
Oh,
been
yeah,
going
man.
to these Comic Cons lately since time went on.
I mean,
isn't
their fans are now like
40
nostalgic.
years
Yeah,
old.
we're all coming back to this stuff, and so it would make sense and be smart of them to come out and go, hey, let's pay homage to, the fan base of where
and
basically some of these people started. Yeah.
Yeah, then that's what they're doing now. I don't know if Austin St. John's is he in prison for a couple months? He was in the middle of he was in the middle of a crypto scheme.
Oh.
Yeah,
You mean the Red Ranger?
The Red Ranger, yeah. But
I thought there was something to do with the Red Ranger. It was something to do with prison or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I think
I
he
just
only had to
couldn't
go for
remember.
like I think he only had to go for 3 months, and
I
he
didn't know that.
but yeah, he might be yeah he
Wow.
might be in jail for just a couple months.
Was
Oh,
this
wire fraud.
recently? Wait, that was
It-
back
this was
3 years
recent.
ago. 3
Yeah,
years ago,
but
right before we
the
lost the other guy. Right
yeah,
before.
but the trial I think just happened recently, so I don't know. I'll have to look into it, but
Wow.
Wow.
Imagine like being famous one day and then like 30 years later, they re- they refer to you as the Red Power Rangers in jail. It's like, God damn it, dude.
yeah, I know, right? Well,
That's not my name.
it's better than what happened with that kid that was on in one of the episodes of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. There was a kid that the Power Rangers saved. He went on to in some people's lives, so he's in jail
Ooh.
for the rest of his life.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Here, yeah, yeah. Y'all can look that up for yourselves later.
Wow.
But yeah, it was just some random kid that happened to get in the show.
Wow. Yeah, speaking of kid, I think I saw a Power Rangers episode where one of them was just a kid wearing a Power Ranger suit one time when they were getting inside the Zords to fight one of the bad guys. But that, I believe, was a different Power Rangers series.
Yeah, no, the kid's name is Skylar DeLeon, DeLeon or something.
De
Yeah.
Leon.
Yeah, DeLeon.
Yeah, De Leon. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, here's one of Rita Repulsa's minions. It's called Goldar.
Goldar. I
Yeah.
was so upset with what they did with the with Goldar in the 2016 was it 2016 or 2017 Power Ranger reboot movie
Oh,
where he just was basically just a big gold I don't know.
oh,
I
Nah,
like the
dude,
face.
he was like, yeah, he was like the sergeant of the minions, man. He was
Yeah.
like the, and
He
yeah,
was awesome.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he had clout, man.
Yeah, and he also had his own Zord at one point too, Cyclopsis.
Remember that name?
yeah. He was often lucky most of the time when he turns into a giant and then reverts to back to regular size after the battle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. He would always just disappear and be like, I'm taking off before I die. Thank you.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, he'd have like 20 guys out there, and after like 18 were dissolved, he'd be like, okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
They're after me next.
Not only that, when the episode when they got that Black Knight to take on the
Yep.
Power Rangers, on the the Black Ranger's birthday.
Yes.
So
yeah.
the Black Knight was fighting him, and then he was
That-
like, "Oh, it's my turn now."
Yeah.
After like the Black Ranger gets like smacked around several times, it's like,
Exactly.
damn, you coward ass mofo! It's like, it's like you might as well just kick the person like more when he's on the ground, sort of thing.
Yeah. I love that episode. Happy birthday, Zach.
Yes.
One of my favorite episodes is what was it called? Power Ranger Punks. Oh, Power Ranger Punks, where Rita put a spell on Billy and Kimberly to be to be bullies, and so like they dressed like they had their hair like like they were all like badasses and stuff, and they'd go on in the school and they'd be pushing people around. They pushed Bulk and Skull and like scared them. Oh man, that was and to this day, every time somebody asks Amy Jo Johnson and David Yost what their favorite episodes are, they say it's that one.
I mean, that's got to be fun. Yeah, break character. Yeah,
yeah,
do something
exactly.
different. Yeah,
yeah. Another one of Rita Repulsa's best minions was also
Scorpina. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
Semi Fatale kind of villain. She's human at regular size, but when she turns into a giant.
Yeah, she doesn't look pretty when she turns into a giant.
Yeah, it kind of reveals her. Yeah, she's a monster.
Yep, that's her.
Yep. that's what happens when she turns into a giant. Into a giant.
Yeah,
But-
keep her small. I like her. I like her small.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
She's hot. They're all very pretty women in this show.
They sure were.
Yep.
Yeah. She's also partners with Goldar too.
Yeah,
Mm.
I wonder if they're related in some way,
Yeah, because of the gold.
like a deep lore kind of thing. Maybe that's a theory video I'll make someday. Maybe I'll go back and watch it and see if there's any
Look at
evidence.
the armor as well. It's kind of almost
Yeah,
it's very close.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
I'll
I
be right
mainly
back.
mean like the pattern of it as well.
yeah. And you always see them together, and they're very powerful. I mean, they're pretty much equally powerful.
Well, see, the other thing I kind of laughed when I was rewatching it is like all the monsters that they bring are all like putty or something like that, and then they go through that weird machine to make them like kind of living.
Oh, the Finster's machine.
Yeah, I always thought
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
like-
Finster would make those putty. He'd make the putties and stuff, and he'd
Yeah.
just like he'd mold them. He'd mold whatever monster he had ready for the week, and
Yeah.
then he just pop it in the machine, and it was like a Willy Wonka machine spitting out an everlasting gobstopper, but it would spit out a monster instead.
Yeah,
That's a great. Yeah, exactly.
it
I
was
loved
pretty
it.
funny because like back then when you watch it, you don't really think too much on a lot of the stuff. Like you just pretty much just watch it and you enjoy it. But now I'm just like look at it, it's like that is a weird ass machine that this person
Yeah.
has. It
I know.
goes
As a
through
kid,
this
you're like, that's
weird-
the way shit is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it looks like it goes through an oven, some type of oven, and then just up this like tube, like that you normally like run through when you're little kid sort of stuff, and it's just
yeah.
like what
It
the
looks
hell?
it looks like a Dr. Seuss machine too that's about
Yes.
to explode at some
Yes,
point
yes,
because
that's
it's
a
all
good
shaking and yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's definitely a good way to
Analogy.
actually
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it definitely does. And it's even funny because when they make the little guys, like especially on the first episode, they made the little bad guys and teleported, and when the Rangers kick them, you hear the metal.
Yeah,
Like, it sounds like metal, even though they're putty.
they're,
It's just like,
they're
hang on.
supposed to be clay or rock or
Yeah,
something
it's
like
just like,
that.
that makes no sense. Like, how am I getting? I know because you're older, you're thinking of it more
Yeah.
than you should. But when you're a
Yeah.
kid, you didn't care. But still, it's just like, wait, you sound like metal, though you're putty. Like,
Exactly.
it doesn't.
Dude, it's they sell the sizzle. It's that flair, that Hollywood flair of ting ting ting.
Yeah,
it sounds
yes,
weird,
yes.
You know, but
It's
because
like
you don't want to have that skin on skin sound in a kid show.
Yeah,
You know,
true,
I mean,
true.
sometimes
Which
it can
you
be
never-
funny, but yeah.
Yeah,
That's
another
true.
good example was like Highlander, which did that a lot with the swords and stuff. Even though, yeah, again, that's different thing. But yes, it still sounded weird when you hear like them smacking the putty sort of stuff, and you're like, "What the hell, man?" It's like that's
Yeah,
your
I
putty,
forgot.
not metal. Damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I forgot to put the.
Those are some of the I don't know. They were some of the most fun henchmen. Aside from the Foot Clan from Ninja Turtles, they were some
Yes.
of my favorite henchmen of any show.
And I mean,
Actually-
they're kind of creepy. The putty men
Yeah,
are kind of
yeah.
creepy. Like they're just like these people that are like, ooh.
Exactly.
It's like,
They're-
get outta
And
here,
they
man.
made that funny noise. The noise that they made is like,
Yeah.
it's like
They did a good job of not like creating nightmare fuel with that, because if you could at some
They
point
could
with that.
really
I mean,
easily,
look at
yeah.
look at the movie Signs, where the guy
Yes.
finds an alien in his living room, and that's kind of like how he's moving around. Like
Yeah.
that's what I got that vibe of. Oh, that's creepy. That's some creepy shit. But they did a great job of like not scaring kids with that, because if you stop and look at it now, I'm like,
Yeah.
imagine seeing that thing in real life, and you're
Yeah.
just like, fight me. No, I'd be like, bye.
not even that. It's
Yeah,
just the
it-
monsters that they produced each week, or sorry, each day, or so. You know, like the big bad monster that they had to
Yep.
fight. They're all. They could have gone even further with that to make it even more,
Oh,
know,
for
scary
sure.
I know.
or something like that. But
Yeah, just
But-
their faces alone just remind me of like Analog Horror ARG or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But here's also one of the enemies they fought. Usually, Rita also creates monsters to fight the Power Ranger. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But before we do this clown, there was one of the monsters that Rita created. Yeah, Rita create had. Yeah, Rita create not only created minions out of clay, but also various different kinds of monsters out of clay too.
Yeah.
One of them, man, yeah, some are hideous and
Oh, the skeleton dude.
Yeah, the Sphinx and the Skeleton and the Black Knight were some of my favorites.
yeah,
And Iborg, the one with eyes all over him.
I remember the
Um,
pig one. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
pig.
that was.
Was that the first one? A Day at the Dumpster? Was that the first monster?
No,
that was
No,
created?
I think it
No,
was second season or something
okay.
like that.
No, it wasn't the second
No.
season.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I had the first 5 episodes on VHS.
Okay. Damn, I must have walked away at that point.
Let me see.
I can't remember.
I'm gonna look for it real quick.
If I see the picture, I probably would be able to say which one. But
The one, I think it was episode 9 that I recently watched was the doll that Trini brings in, the tickle something.
Yes.
And I was
Yeah.
like, dude, that's some creepy shit. It's like bringing to life like one of your toy collections. And, oh man, and plus also, dolls are creepy as shit. But-
Yeah. Okay, so it was the episode Food Fight. It wasn't Day at the Dumpster.
Okay. Yeah, Day of the Dumpster was the first episode, I believe. Like, because it's based off of them finding a space dumpster.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So it was Goldar they fought in that episode. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
yep, yeah. Goldar often goes out there to assist some of the Rita's monsters to fight the Power Rangers, whether
Mhm.
they're at regular size or in giant size.
Yeah. And the first episode where he used Cyclopsis, his Zord, they had which actually is right there in that image right there. The second one. But anyway, they had to bring in Titanus for the Ultra Zord. That was the first time they used it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And this is one of Rita's monsters, the Sphinx.
That was one of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, this one blows huge gusts of wind, and it was pretty much the
That's
first
right.
monster I recall Goldar teaming up with out in the field against the Power Rangers.
I think it was one of the most iconic, other than like the jack-o'-lantern one or scarecrow, whatever it was. But the rest of them, they kind of had not so much of an intimidating feel to them, like the Pudgy Pig. I mean, that one it's kind of silly.
Exactly.
yeah, that was. Well,
Yeah.
to us, I reckon it would have been silly, but back then, probably wouldn't really. It would just be laughing. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was. I definitely remember it being one of those episodes where I was like, oh man, I wish the monster was better. But
Yeah, exactly.
they all can't be zingers, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, true. Because, and really looking at it now, it kind of sucks that every monster gets killed. Like, it would have been much better if, there would be a time when they just get their ass kicked, and then it'd be next episode they have to deal with somehow to get over that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But they always come in. I know, they're meant to kill it and all that sort of stuff and win the day, but still would be good to actually, see such an episode.
Yeah, they had a heavy
now
regimented formula
Yeah.
for these shows. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they only had 22 minutes to get the whole plot and everything taken care of. If you keep adding monsters, it's going to be like, I mean, that's why Green with Evil, the 5-part episode, was so iconic, because it was like a full movie of the Power
Yes.
Rangers,
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's interesting. Now we can come to the clown.
Ooh.
Yeah. This clown was pretty much the first enemy that I recall seeing the Power Rangers go up against was actually a pineapple monster in disguise, while the other clowns were the putties.
Yep.
And there he is. Yeah.
That was a pretty creepy looking villain, actually. Now that I'm
That's
thinking
wild,
about
yeah.
it, it looks
Yeah.
almost like John Carpenter's The Thing.
Right?
Yeah, I saw this at my grandma's house a long time ago when after I just moved back here from North Carolina. Yeah, this thing was crazy too. Yeah, its real name is called Pinoctopus.
I know.
Yeah, I know it's strange.
No,
Yeah,
I mean it hits on the nail to me. I mean it sounds good to me.
Yeah,
yeah,
no, yeah,
this is him.
that's good wording. Yeah.
Yeah, him as disguised as a clown.
Yeah. And then well, I think I think it was when Lord Zed came back, but then they got some putties to be rangers, or no, they got some kids from school to be the bad rangers or whatever. And they were just, the costumes were just awful. They didn't have helmets or anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This guy was stalking and threatening the life of the Yellow Ranger's younger sister.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, younger. Well, I think cousin. I kind of forgot. Yeah, younger sister.
Yeah, I think it was her younger sister, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Sylvia.
Yeah.
the-
Yeah.
yeah. The name of the. Yeah.
There she is, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. This was the.
Wow.
Yeah. 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 The younger sister of the first Yellow Ranger. Yeah.
Well,
Pineapple.
technically it was the second Yellow Ranger. They actually hired another original Yellow Ranger for when they were calling the show Dino Rangers.
Mhm.
For the pilots. It was some girl with short hair, but it didn't work out. I don't know if you look up the original pilot episode or something, but yeah, the original intro has her in it. The other girl.
Ah. And here are some of the designs of the monsters that were created by Rita.
Oh yeah, the one from the third. That's the one that stole all that sucked in all the lizard right there. Yeah, the one that you have your cursor over right there. Yeah, it sucked in all the Power Rangers, and it was up to Kimberly to kind of get over her whatever was going on with her in the episode, and
Oh, yeah.
she saved them. Yeah, and they had their face, like the faces of the Rangers on its chest. It was really weird, but it was
Yeah.
it was Power Rangers at the time.
Yeah. 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 And what's also crazy was they would have a monster that kind of looks like a pineapple or a spider or a sort of kind of parasite crawling out of a pineapple.
Yeah, such weird combinations.
Yeah.
I would have to say that if they actually did that monster in anime or something like that, it would probably look a whole lot more scary.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
But just thinking of it now, it's just like, yeah, if they did that like anime, that would probably freak the crap out of me.
Yeah.
As a little kid.
Well, as I was saying, all these monsters, these are from the Super Sentai Japanese episodes. So they were, all these ideas for these monsters, they came from the Super Sentai show. So they were probably had that in mind, something anime looking and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like
Well,
kind of like Resident Evil when you make a headshot. I can't remember what Resident Evil it is, but these giant squid things come out of their head. I think it's Resident Evil 4. Yeah, but
Well, it's 4, but then I think if you go back and play the remaster of part 1, 2, and 3, I think they do the same thing. They're called Crimson Heads, and
okay.
yeah. So if you play the remasters of the part 1, 2, and 3, but yeah,
Yeah, and here's what I think is the craziest kind of all.
Shell Shock, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, two of
Definitely
Rita's
from the Mutant
yeah,
Turtles.
two of Rita's most incompetent henchmen put put traffic lights onto a shell.
Is that Toka or no Razor from the Secret of the Ooze Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie?
Looks like
Oh,
Razor.
man.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And
That's what I was thinking. It looks like something
call.
from them.
Yeah, and they just stuck a light in its shell. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, the weirdest way of making a monster, putting a traffic light on.
That's what I'm
inside
saying.
an
Like,
elevator.
in the planning room or like the writing room, they're like, okay, so how else can we make this thing a little bit more different? Or
Yeah.
Some guy in the back was like, dude, is that a traffic light?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, come on, like all the monsters were out there, really.
Yeah.
If you look at it,
That was the favorite part about watching the show. Like I it was always about, what are they going to get into with the bullies, and then what is the monster going to be this time?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Squat and Babu would always be like exactly right behind them. They never fought. And any time that they were faced with the Rangers, they would run away. They had no business being around at all, other than just to kind of.
Technically, they did actually fight in one episode that I remember.
Did they?
It's like there was the one with the skeleton monster. He did that time travel thing or something.
Oh, the island of illusion.
Yeah, so they went through there, and then like the Rangers were all getting attacked and stuff, and then the blue guy and that they put out some rocket launcher thing that fired off. So they did actually attack in that episode, but it wasn't.
Oh, I'll have to go back and watch that.
It's not like they actually, because they were planting the bombs.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're planting the bombs, and then the Rangers were all attacking, and I think they're all down again. These monsters attacking when the Rangers are down, and then they pull out a rocket launcher or something, and it looked like fireworks pretty much. But they did attack in that episode, but majority of the time they don't, because we all know like they wouldn't attack anything until someone's like on the ground.
Yeah. They usually just stand behind the bush and just look around and be like, "Oh, good, we're gonna get this,"
Yeah, that's exactly.
He's so happy with us.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, they failed, and still, it's just like, I don't know why she doesn't just get rid of them. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Honestly, like they keep stuffing up all the time. You would probably just like move them away, Minecraft them.
She punished Goldar more than she punished them. I mean, she took away Goldar's wings.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean,
even though they were much more incompetent.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's what happens, right? I mean, if your favorite in command messes up, man, you get the brunt of it, right?
Yeah, that's
true.
Where
the other one's like, well, you're stupid all the time. You can say,
that's true.
I expected more.
Not in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Not in Star Wars. Darth Vader would have just ended the person. Darth Vader would be like, you're gone.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's a different thing altogether, but still.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'll be right back real quick.
Yep.
All right. Anyway. Yeah, but this was also right after they met the Green Ranger. Before coming head to head with the turtle monster, they ran into Tommy, aka Green Ranger.
Tommy Oliver. Yep.
I gotta rewatch some of that again.
And just in time. Hi, Abe. Welcome back.
Hello.
What's up, Abe?
Thank
Hello.
you.
Seems like I arrived just in time.
Master of the Dragon Zord. Yes, you did.
Yes. Yeah, is this the ranger your profile picture is based off of?
It
Of
is
course.
indeed, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm glad you came, Abe. Yes. Oh, and look who we have here. Your some friend.
Oh,
Hello there.
Aye.
Hanayama-san.
Hanayama-san, good
Yeah.
friend of mine.
Yeah, I just saw you over at Tomby's earlier today.
Yeah. And hopefully we might have a little rogue Jactar lad turning up. We'll see.
Yeah.
Nice.
We sure
So
will.
what did I miss? And
Oh, we were
apologies
just
for being
talking-
so late.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
we were-
Yeah,
were
we were just talking about each monster, some of the Rangers, Rita, just going through season 1 type of stuff.
Yeah. What, like purely in terms of merchandise or
Oh,
Kind of all
Just-
of it.
No, just back,
thematically?
back and forth, just parts
Yeah.
of the episodes and parts that stood out to us. Just stuff like that. We had a conversation about how Jason David Frank was a prankster and stuff like that, and just all over the place, really, just all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
yeah. Yep, that's true. Yeah, yeah. Tommy was just a regular guy doing his thing, and then Rita saw some potential in him, and she kidnaps him, brings her back, has him locked up somewhere, and then turns him into. And then he turned. Yeah, Rita used some magic to turn Tommy into Green Ranger and had it and placed him under her influence.
Yep.
In an attack. Yeah, Tommy Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy kidnapped too. Yep, and then once he fought off those putties, he earned the Sword of Darkness, which solidified his the spell over him and gave him the power of the Dragon Zord. And man, yeah, those Green with Evil episodes, that 5-parter, I can't tell you how many times I've watched those. That was such a good I mean, it was just such a good story. Even for
Yeah.
I mean, for a kids show, especially,
Hey, Alpha.
they had such a great story arc with deception, with a mystery, backstabbing, and then a redemption arc at the end, and then becoming a new ranger. I mean, yeah, it was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep. Quite awesome. And he even breached the headquarters to the Rangers.
Yeah, because he had a power coin.
Yep. Alpha. Zordon's one of Zordon's assistants, and also who was voiced by Richard Stephen Horvitz.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Alpha 5
Yep. Alpha
makes
5.
makes me want to see what Alpha 1 through 4 looked like.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that's what
Probably
5 looks
infinitely
like,
more annoying.
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely found when I was rewatching it, he was.
I know
he
you
was
think
very annoying and-
C-3PO has stress or anxiety. This thing takes
Yeah.
the cake.
I'm guessing he was meant to
Totally.
be more of a comedy
Awful.
release sort of thing character
Yeah.
as well. The way that
Yeah.
it acts, sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that is kind of catchy. Where you have this highly advanced robotic entity, but they're prone to messing up. So it's kind of funny. Yeah.
And then when the Green Ranger breaks in, he just puts in a CD in the back of his back, and he starts and he just completely short circuits. He had like a Trojan horse virus on this CD. He just puts it in the back of this extra dimensional android, and yeah, just completely
Yeah.
messes with them.
These
Yeah.
are the times of the days, man.
Yeah.
It was 90s, CDs, and that all coming in, and no
Oh,
no
yeah.
longer the floppy disks or hard disks anymore.
Yeah, the
No.
3.5s. Yeah.
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 God, I feel old.
Do you remember
I know.
those old big ass zip drives you used to get?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Alpha does look cute sometimes when he's
Yeah.
with that voice and stuff.
Yeah, I built a diorama. These computer panels back here behind Alpha. I actually 3D printed these and made a diorama for my Power Ranger display.
Nice.
I mean, that looks like a music studio to me.
Yeah, yeah, it does. Like, yeah,
Like just
soundboards and stuff.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe a hundred more wires, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Oh
Alpha
yeah.
1 through 2 are
Alpha
pretty
Proto,
basic.
Alpha
3
Proto, you're right. I as a kid, I was like, wow, this is fast paced, and it did seem silly, but I liked it.
Yeah,
But at the same time, yeah, I'm so raw with like the original setting where I'm like, when Tommy came in,
yeah.
I was just like,
I was hooked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to be the Red Ranger until Tommy came in, and then I was Green
That's-
Ranger all the way.
yeah. And I had a friend that had longer hair, and I was like, I got so
Yep.
like
And you
like,
wanted to
jealous.
scalp. And you wanted to scalp him.
I got so jealous because that was the cool thing back then, and I was like, dude, man, my mom wouldn't let me have long hair. So
Yeah, see, me too. Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. So same here. Yeah. Zordon stuff was. Yeah. Zordon suffered dreadfully from that Trojan horse attack by the mind controlled Green Ranger.
Yep.
Yeah. They had to beat the Green Ranger in a Zord battle to break him free from Rita's spell.
Mm-hmm. And not just him, but I think it was the Lord of Illusions and Goldar and the Dragon Zord. I think it was all three of them that they had to fight. I could be wrong, but I thought that because the final battle where they actually changed the Tommy back was just a one-on-one fight with Jason and Tommy, and then he destroys the Sword of Darkness.
Yeah.
dude, I got so mad when I thought that like Tommy was trying to like get in on Kimberly, because I was like, dude, that's Jason's girl. Like,
really, I never thought of him.
man.
I never thought of him as Jason's girl.
I never got that either. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think as a kid, I was just like, okay, that goes there. This goes here. I don't know about that one. That's all it is. That it's very simplistic. Like,
I get you. I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, they didn't. Well, they didn't want to bring any sort of like sexuality to the show. Obviously, there were some kisses later on, but I always thought that Jason and Kim were the hookup. Then Tommy comes in. Tommy's all like, "Check out my hair. I'm just gonna be cool now."
Well, Kim immediately was like, "Who is that? Oh my god!" I mean, she was.
Yeah, they brought in the love interest. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And what always upset me though was the way that they ended their relationship. She writes him a Dear John letter, just like, "Yeah, sorry, I'm not gonna be with you anymore."
Wow,
and
I forgot about that, man.
It was so upsetting.
Dear John, we lost our war with the Actors Union and the companies, so damn.
The Yellow Ranger was inherently good at math.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know.
She did. She helped Billy out build a lot of those devices. So you're absolutely right. Yeah.
It's the same as like the guy with the glasses. Yep, he's a nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in so many episodes, Billy was like needing an extra hand or something, and she'd jump in there and be like, "What do you need? I got it. You know,
Right.
I got
He,
this
he was like
down."
the mechanical engineer, where she was the electrical engineer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
God damn it, Jack.
Oh yeah.
So saying that, it was pretty funny. The yellow, like Asian chick becomes Yellow Ranger. The black guy is the Black Ranger. That's
Mhm.
looking at that, it's like okay, fair enough.
Hey, no, he liked being the Black Ranger though.
Yeah,
Like
That's what
he
I'm
was
thinking
like
about.
he was like, I want to be the Black Ranger. Like I want to
Hmm.
represent. You know.
These
Yeah,
people
totally.
in these back writing rooms. That's where I'm like, I wonder if they were just like smoking cigarettes, drinking whiskey, and they're like, yeah, that guy's gonna be that one.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and then
they
they
did
just
have
pitched
a
it to him, and he's like, "Black Ranger? Oh hell yes!
Oh,
Let's do
Jack
this shit."
Tarlad, a Black Ranger, didn't know his dad. Oh man.
that
Oh, that's low.
Oh
No,
my God.
he
Yeah.
No.
learned his real daddy.
Yeah, his dad
Zordon.
did show
Yeah.
up. Well, no, his dad showed up in one of the episodes. They had like a family episode where all the Rangers' parents
I don't
came.
want to say the next joke after that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where have you been for all these
Yep.
years? Prison, motherfucker. Sorry, I said the F word again. Sorry. But no, just that's stupid stuff. Yeah, that is funny though. But no, that they are. It is kind of the the preppy white girl is pink, the Asian girl is
Yeah.
yellow, and
Yeah.
it was all like looking back at it as an adult, it's like, well, I mean, that was the '90s. This was.
was massive in that 90s. Yeah.
It wasn't about making a great show. It was all about marketing, and it just so happened that there was a culmination of marketing and good show. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, you got something catchy here. Let's make this a little bit more
And those Zords,
eye catching.
yeah, I mean those toys, the Zords, they were so hard to find. Every Christmas, it was so.
Right?
I mean, they
Yeah.
were always sold out of Toys R Us.
Dude.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I had a couple.
Yeah.
I had a couple, and I mean couple because, like, growing up, my mom was like, after a while, she was like, I couldn't find that one
Yeah, exactly.
like,
They
oh,
were
that's
nowhere
fine,
to be found.
for
Yeah,
birthdays and stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah, it was really rare. You found like a Dragon Zord or something like that.
Well, when the legacy versions came out, the diecast ones, probably
Oh yeah,
10 years ago, something like that.
yeah.
They were just as hard to get.
Yeah, I always pre-ordered mine, so
Yeah.
I made sure to get them.
I
Yep.
literally bought the last stock of them from my own Toys R Us in
Wow.
the UK
Wow,
before it shut down.
that's crazy.
Lucky.
It sucked.
That's a
It-
good one.
I had,
definitely
to,
lucky,
I had to sell my Megazord, my Legacy Megazord, or no, it was the Soul of Chogokin Megazord, like the hardcore, like all die cast. You could actually pose in like a, instead of just arms by the
Wow,
side.
dude, you had one of those?
Yeah, I had to sell
Yeah.
it though. I do have the Dragon Zord and the Tiger Zord still though.
Yeah.
I used to have the Delta Command Megazord too.
Nice.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that one you can actually fit one of the other Zords inside.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah, the original Zords, and the Thunder Zords, they were both so cool.
Yeah.
It started getting a little weird with the Ninja Zords. I like the Shogun Ninja Zord though. And then the
That's
Turbo
nice,
Zord. The Turbo Zords were just awful. I hated.
I think like seeing when they're all joined together and that on the TV show, and then you look at it, it's like that's definitely that's like 100%. You can tell that's a dude in a suit.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think even when I
Yeah.
was a kid, I was like, that reminds me of the old Godzilla movie stuff.
I had those same gloves, Jack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
My grandmother, she made porcelain dolls, so she made clothes for him and stuff. And I got her to make me a Ninjetti White Ranger
Oh
costume.
wow.
It was cool. It was not. It was like top of the line for for not having like a. Because if I would have built the White Ranger chest shield and get 3D printed a helmet like I could today. But
Yeah, but yeah, but yeah, and as for the Dragon Zord, the one piloted by the Green Ranger. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think is actually missing on this Megazord compared to actual dragons?
Wings.
A
Yeah,
flesh
wings.
body.
The wings. Yeah,
Say
they
wings,
didn't seem
yeah.
to put the wings on the thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
dragons
the
have
thing
wings.
is,
I think it was more like a Godzilla, kaiju than a dragon.
they could sort of just fly by default,
Yeah.
Rockets.
so you didn't necessarily need wings, even though
Look
that made no sense.
Look how sick that Mega Dragon Zord was, though. In the last image, man, I love that Mega Dragon Zord so much.
Yeah.
No, it was I can't see it now, but when they all combined and the Dragon Zord meshed with the rest of the
Yeah.
Mega Zord.
Hanayama-san,
cool.
I hear you. But no, I mean, wings are kind of cool though. That's all.
Yeah,
Wings are cool.
I get you.
Ironically, the Red Dragon Sword probably had more in common with actual Asian folklore.
True.
Yes.
Than
But it still didn't have wings either, though.
Right,
no, it
well,
didn't.
like
but
Hanayama-san said,
that's
is,
what makes it
dragons,
more accurate.
They're not
Oh,
these
okay. Okay.
English, British sort of folklore of dragons with wings, whereas the Asian types, no, they were just massive giant lizards,
Yeah.
Yeah. You could
Yeah,
just
that's
fly.
true.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Go
not if you're
ahead.
made out of steel and fuel or whatever that thing runs off. It's got to be nuclear power, maybe diesel. Who knows?
They run on solar power.
Solar power.
No, they
Yeah, I
they
watched
actually do run on solar power. That's why the Lord of Illusions they do an eclipse in a lot of the episodes, and the Megazord powers down.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Hello.
Oh, damn.
Achilles heel.
I feel
Yeah.
so bad
Suddenly.
about hating on Ironheart now.
Yeah. Let me
Right,
Damn.
exactly.
Let me go ahead and push up my nerd glasses now.
Yeah.
Someone said Paw Patrol. You can do anything in that show. Yeah, my kids have shown me that. I'm like, wait a minute. This is
Nice.
right, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, but also the Green Ranger also has. But speaking of the dragons,
Oh, the dagger. Yep.
Yeah.
I had one. I had one of the gold, the 24 karat gold in. I think they only made like 5,000 of them. I had one of those when they were selling them for like $250. If you look on eBay now, I ended up selling it, but now they're going for like $2,000. If I would have held on to that, man.
Mate, I've still got at least one of them, and I'm never selling any of them.
Oh yeah, I mean,
why would you sell it, really?
Because I needed it for bills at the time.
Yeah,
okay,
maybe for that, but honestly, I wouldn't really sell any of that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah, I still have the regular legacy one, but not the 24 karat gold one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not fully 24 karat. It was 24 karat gold plated.
Right.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, it's people are only gonna come after these things and pay more for it at some point. Like my whole toy collection, toys and collectibles of certain video games. That's my kids are like, I'm just they have no idea what I have, and I'm just like, nope, just stand by.
Yeah,
one day you're gonna make a very pretty penny off of something.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually took out my original Dragon Dagger from when it came out in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And then I
like the
compared
original one. Wow.
Yeah. And then I put it side by side. I'm like, okay, this one is a toy.
Yeah,
This
you can very
one
much tell. Yeah,
is amazing.
yeah. This one is like
Yeah.
a prop that you would see on the actual show.
It was even better than the ones they had on the show.
Well, that's the
Because
idea.
it could do more.
When they reproduce those things, they want to give them a lighter, easier, shinier thing. But when they
Oh,
put
yeah.
out these collectibles, they're like, "Hey, let's go fucking full metal with this thing," and
Yeah, exactly.
make it
Yeah.
like a real object rather than
that's
just a
the
toy.
original.
Yeah, that's
Like,
the original.
Yep.
And it's smaller.
They're toys for kids for sure.
Yeah, it's like maybe 3 to 4 inches smaller than the actual legacy one that they have now. And Saba is bigger too.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
thought Saba was bigger, like a big toy as a kid. The White Ranger sword.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. That's true.
Very cool toys, man. Back in the day, yeah, I found in like a Chinese shop, I guess over in Japan or wherever it was over there in China, maybe. They had like really like not little versions, but like little kid versions of all of the weapons. So like you had the power axe, the power bow, the daggers, the lance, and the bow, so you could put it all together for the power blaster. Man, that thing was
Sweet.
so cool. It was.
Oh,
I mean,
that
it was
would
very
be
small,
nice.
but yeah. And I think they're doing that now. They're making like a two scale versions of the weapons. I know that they've come out with the. I know they've come out with the sword, the lance, and the daggers, but they haven't come out with the bow or the axe yet.
I just wish I had that many friends that I could make that with.
I know, that would be so cool.
Right.
It's cool enough to get the figures and get the weapons and put them together and put the power blaster together.
Cool as hell. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and Rita also. Yeah, when it came to dealing with the Power Rangers, Rita often spies on them to figure out what tactics she would use to beat them. And for example, when she overlooked at their juice bar, she discovered that the Black Ranger was afraid of insects, so it gave her the idea to have her minions create a spider. Yeah, and it even put kids to sleep too with its powder.
True. Hey, when you get a chance, can you look up Rita's castle, like the outside of the castle?
Oh, sure. Let me just get that up.
This is her castle on the moon, and if you notice, let's see, you can get a picture of it. No, that's not it.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Oh, it's not coming up. Well, y'all. Anyway, my point was just that as a kid, I always saw on the outside of the castle, it would say Bandora's place, and later I found out that in the Super Sentai version, she's not called Rita Repulsa, she's called Bandora. So that's why it's called Bandora's place on the outside.
Yeah.
Just a little trivia I'd throw out there.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
She had a cool castle too.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find that.
It was on.
I know the Power Ranger face or sword.
Yeah.
He looks like he lived in some sort of like NSA compound built into the mountains. It's like, wait a minute, is that just a giant computer in there? What you guys doing? Yeah. I saw that.
Oh,
well, here's the link in the private chat if anyone can bring it up. that's
Oh,
and
redirect.
scroll down to that. Yeah. Scroll down to a evil layer.
Yeah, exactly. On the outside of that, it says Bandora's Place.
Yeah.
Let me get that up. Here it
Or
is.
Bandora's Palace, sorry.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the place.
Hey, cat. My cat's about to knock my camera over. Get off.
Gonna get you.
Yeah.
Are you still there, Roadkill? Are you still there?
His
Road.
internet might have dropped out. It does that sometimes.
Oh, wait. There
There
you
you go.
are.
There you go. Yeah, sorry about that. I was looking at the chat, and if you hit the X button, it goes right back to what you're doing. But if you hit the done button, which seems like you're done looking at the text,
Oh.
is like the right thing to push. When you push done, it just takes you out of the stream. But
I was
you're supposed to exit. Yeah.
I was gonna say I was about to do this.
Uh-oh.
Sweet.
Wow.
Right? Gone. Got somewhere to be, guys. I'm not going to say anything.
Exactly.
I'll try not to say something after that either, Roadkill.
Oh, my goodness.
Zordon, give me a second.
Yep.
Oh, my camera's wild right now.
Yep. Yeah, that's
All right.
yeah, that is Rita Repulsa's lair on the moon.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, yes. So, what were you saying about it? What is it? What does it remind you of?
Oh no, I was saying that as a kid, you see the lights above the opening in the front. It looks like letters.
Yeah.
Well, it's if there's a clearer picture, it says Bandora's Place. And as a
Yeah.
kid, I always wondered what that meant, and I found out that that was Rita Repulsa's name in the Japanese Super Sentai show Bandora.
Very
Pandora
cool.
the Witch. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So she was Bandora the witch. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, here, actually, you know what? I have a good picture of it. Here, let me share my screen real quick, if I can open
Sure.
it.
Sure. Let's see.
Yeah, let me do this real quick. All right. Share screen.
It does look like a casino, like Biff's Casino in Back to the Future.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It does be, yeah. Like a moon casino.
Wait a second.
Yep, it looks like a casino on the moon.
Yeah.
That's Elon's next endeavor.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Let's just gamble on the moon. There's no rules up there.
Yeah.
Gamble on the moon.
Oh, it's not letting me share it for some reason. Anyway,
Grab.
it's not a big deal. Oh, I can open it in a new tab. Sorry. This is my first time on the internet. No, I'm kidding.
And that's
my
the thing,
first
Alpha Proto is Zach hip hopper. Like even back
Oh,
then
yeah.
and to this day, I'm like, what does that even mean? What do you mean hip hopper? Like he doesn't
Yeah.
make music, he just
Yeah.
dances. So that would
He
he would be considered a b-boy. He b-boy
would-
dances.
True.
But people are like,
I-
he's a hip hopper, and I'm like, if a hip hopper is a rapper, I don't know. But no,
But
I mean that's what they call him. Yeah.
but he hip hopped. I don't know. I think back then they didn't know what to call him. Here,
Trini. Yeah, Trini. She mathematician.
Yeah.
Slightly geek. Yeah, but at the same time, she has her place.
Yep, she does. And so does Tommy, too.
I know Tommy was like the laid back tough guy that wasn't a jock. He was like, dude, I don't play football or soccer or sports, but I can catch waves and skateboard or whatever.
Yeah, no, actually, funny story. When they made the movie, and they had that rollerblading scene, he could not stay on those rollerblades. He kept falling over. And every scene that you see him doing a trick, it's somebody else, and he he scraped himself up so much.
I
in
couldn't
that
stand the
movie.
street booters growing up. I grew up skateboarding, so we always had like a thing against rollerbladers.
Oh yeah, same
So,
here.
yeah.
Same here. But still, jumping out of an airplane, that part was pretty cool. I always wanted to jump out of skydive with like a board, like a snowboard type thing.
Right?
That was sick.
Oh, and speaking of airplanes, yeah, there was one episode with Kimberly riding an airplane with her uncle while two of the bullies who were stalking her at the bar were tagging along.
Is that one?
Yeah,
Yep. That looks like an older Billy, honestly, as her dad too. That's weird.
yeah, it is.
Right.
Man, he looks tall.
I think she's just really, really small, which is how I like them.
Gymnasts usually are. They're usually like
Yeah.
very, very small people.
Yeah, I dated a gymnast that she actually went on to coach for the for a team up north after college. But anyway, she was 4'11". She was really tiny.
Great day. That's tiny. Yeah, 4'11".
Yeah,
4'11".
4'11". Yeah,
Wow.
never got any taller than that. But she was great on the beam.
Right.
Just like Kimberly too.
That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, and people are just good at what they do with that, and yeah, that's what I learned with football. When my coach was like, he would just like look at me and be like, "I want you over there. I want you defensive outside linebacker." And I was like, and all the chicks like the tight ends and the quarterbacks, and I was like, well, oh, that sucks, but. But I mean, when a professional knows where to put you because they know the design of the sport, but just like short people, or if you're a person with long legs and you're lanky, you're probably a good runner. So,
Yeah, same here, Jack. I'm with you completely.
Yeah,
with Red
Jack's
Hot
nailed
Chili
it.
Peppers. Yep. That was a great song to play for the opening of that movie.
It was a good opening for a movie, though, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure. But they were still technically teenagers that they were letting jump out of an airplane for like a fundraiser event. Like,
yeah.
and Bulk and Skull too. And oh man, there was so much liability with what they were doing.
Yeah.
Did you guys go tandem yet? No, we haven't done any. This is my first drop. and I'm 15. It's like, all right, well,
yeah, exactly.
good luck.
Yeah, have fun. Hope you survive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where were the teen parents? They were in one of the episodes, Alpha Proto.
Always working.
Yeah. Well, they got frozen or something like that.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, the ooze got to them.
You ooze, you lose.
Yeah.
Those costumes in the movie were really good too. I mean, they're very uncomfortable from what all the actors say, but they look really good.
Which ones though, Thea? Which ones?
The ones with the armor, the like in the very first movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the very first
pretty
movie
damn
from the
cool. Yeah,
a lot of spandex and straps. Yeah.
Yeah. The ones with like they actually looked like armor as opposed to just spandex.
Spandex. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Right there. Go down a little bit. It's in the middle. That costume of the White Ranger, right there. Yeah, right there. That's it.
Oh yeah. So that's probably a lot more like latex and like probably heavier metals.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like the chest
it does
armor
look like armor, though,
thicker.
yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
They call the same.
It does look much cooler in the show. Yeah.
Yeah. Alpha Proto. They do call the Green Goblin a Power Ranger in the Sam Raimi movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. It does.
Yeah.
I even called it that. I was like, it just looks like a Power Ranger costume.
Yeah, because they ditched the purple on the.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they should have had the like a rubber face mask at least, if not, because that's how it is in the comics anyway. And they should have had
Yeah.
the purple shell over him, so it kind of, I don't know. I'm a purist when it comes to comic books and stuff, so I don't
Yeah.
like when they try to make a new outfit out of something.
Well, that's the same for a lot of people with certain shows and stuff like that. Like I'm with that with Fallout TV show.
I know. Yeah, Val and I had a.
Like we've had massive arguments over that crap.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well,
I give
like
leeway
the-
a little bit to Hollywood, but sometimes they just blow it out of proportion and they ruin the whole thing.
No
yeah,
doubt.
I would say we're kind of left in a bit of a weird situation in which saying something looks like a Power Ranger outfit is
Yeah.
both an insult and a compliment.
At the same time, yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yep.
I mean, it's a very cool concept. It's like a futuristic ninja, which I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is really cool. So
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all have gotten into any of the Boom comics, but the comic line from Boom Studios is
Yeah.
really, really good. With the Shattered Grid and Lord Draken, which is like an alternate universe Tommy Oliver that never turned to the good side.
Yeah.
It was really,
that would be
really,
interesting.
really cool stuff.
And Lord Draken's basically made his way into pretty much all of the games now.
Oh yeah, yeah, because he's such a popular character. Even though Jason David Frank, he came up with that concept, and they stole it from him, and they didn't pay him a dime for any of it.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So he had a lot of issues with Power Rangers towards the end of his life, which might have been some cause to what happened. I don't know. I know he was
Yeah.
going through a divorce as well. He suffered with a lot of
Yeah.
depression, and he had a lot on his plate. He had a lot of people that were trying to screw him over. That's like the Bat in the Sun, Aaron Shonky. We're just finding out about it now, but yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's kind of a common thing, though, isn't it? Like sometimes, like Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They talk the most about mental health,
Exactly.
and sometimes they're the ones that are suffering from those issues the most.
And it makes sense
More
too.
than anyone else.
And it makes sense because that's why they're talking about it, because they're like,
Yeah.
I'm going through this, and I'm not going to act like I'm going through this, but I want to shine a light on it so other people that are in this situation they reach out for help.
I'm so glad that people have come out about that because I've done it for years, piece by piece, not initially, but media and other platforms of different things have been like, hey, not platforms, I would say organizations that have been like, hey, shut up with all that, hiding your feelings stuff. It's okay. We all deal with stuff. And after a while, it does make a lot of us that go through things like that, like I deal with, it makes it easier to create more of a conversation and not make it a stigma. And I feel bad for a lot of those guys that were kind of stuck in that time frame of, hey, if you're in a bad place, that's going to hurt your image.
Yeah.
But really, it's like, nah, if you would have owned it, you would have come out probably a little bit more, proud and, happier.
The problem with that is it's still, even though men suffer quite a lot and all that sort of stuff, it's still not going to be.
Men suffer silently.
Won't come out as good. Like we won't get the proper help that we should have, even now, even for a while. It's going to take a long time because that everyone's all too focused on making sure females are okay. And I'm not trying to be,
I completely get with you.
It's also not hot. It's not hot or attractive for someone to be vulnerable, especially when a man, like these women go around nowadays and they're like, I hate men. I hate their toxic masculinity. But also what they do like is a tough guy. But if a tough guy goes a little soft,
they're
it's
speaking
like, dude,
out of two sides of the mouth.
This fine line is such trash, man. It sucks. But speaking back to Tommy and Robin Williams is, they were in the brunt of it. Like
Yep.
people were out there trying to get ahead of it, but no one was paying attention. And they were like, look, I just can't deal with this anymore. If
Yep.
they couldn't deal with it. They didn't know how to deal with it. I'm sure they had great therapists, but
Yeah.
even if you do have one, there's still that, that ego
Yeah.
inside you that's like, don't come out about this. Just
Yeah.
shut up and
Exactly.
suffer.
Saying,
Mhm.
saying that as well, like for the audience in general, like if you're an individual that is going through that, make sure you talk to your family and friends, like your closest friends and stuff,
Yeah.
like
Yep.
to like try and get help because you
Yeah,
don't want
Yeah.
to, you don't want
I
the
agree.
And trying to
at
get
the
help
end.
doesn't mean you have to call a crisis line
Yeah,
and spill your guts to a stranger.
To a
Just
stranger,
it could take
exactly.
just a very simple
Yeah, just
conversation with an old friend, and you're like,
yeah,
That's what
exactly.
Yeah.
your
I
mates
mean,
and
some
family.
of the best help that I've had is somebody just happening to notice that I wasn't this, acting the same or something, and reaching out to me and just being like, "Are you all right? Is
Yep.
there something
Mm.
going on?" And that's all you need. Just somebody that
Yeah.
that you care about, that you get reciprocated.
and also
Um,
anyone that's listening, too much attention can be kind of alienating. Like if you haven't talked to people in like a week, and you have 5 people going, "What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong?" It's very off-putting.
yeah,
It just takes that random aha sort of thing. So it's weird, man.
yeah.
It's a very
Especially
weird thing.
it is a fine line for men. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But I try on a lot of my streams. I try to let people know to reach out to anybody if they're going through stuff like that, because
Mhm.
I suffer. I mean, I'll be straight up. I suffer with depression hardcore, and
Yeah.
it's a battle every day. But
Yes.
Yeah.
I want people to know that they, if they're in the same situation, they need to they need to be open to either letting somebody reach out to them, or reaching out to somebody that you trust.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking to Alpha Proto is exactly, yeah. Sometimes that random person on the phone has been through maybe like 10,000 more times the things you've been through,
Yeah.
and you never know. And because up
Yeah.
here where I am, where I live right now, the big thing is the crisis line, the 988 push one,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
and it's like, dude, I don't want to do that, but you never know.
Yeah.
It's not that there's a person in India like in a call center waiting to help you fix your computer. These are people that they're hired based on their background. Their background is
Yeah.
either social work or they've been through some heavy shit.
Yeah.
And that's where I
Yeah.
thrived at my last job, was because I've been through so much. My boss had to tell me, "Hey, back off, dude. Like, if they have that much of an issue, you have to, you know, sort of tell them to go call this number." But I'm like, dude, I can work with them, because I understand what they're going through. But
Yeah.
she was like, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
It'll get you in trouble if you try to offer advice. Yeah.
It's
But
true.
I mean, it's just
But
good to talk
it's
to someone sometimes. Yeah.
yeah.
Period.
But for the person going through that, it's really hard for a lot of guys. I know for me, it's hard to reach out. It's hard to admit, like, I'm going through something that I
Yeah.
It
can't
is.
fight. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's stepping outside your comfort zone, which people
Yeah.
hate. But
Yeah.
all I've learned throughout my life is once I, winced and hated walking into a different, thing, because it was outside of my comfort zone. On the back end, I was a much more robust, happier person. Regardless, whatever situation it was, something had happened where it made me a little bit more, uh, I don't know, a little bit more there and with it and better. So, yeah, it can be jarring to just go, all right, I'm going to call this number and tell them that I hate myself. And then,
Uh,
but next thing you know, after 30 minutes, you're like, huh, I need to
Yeah.
fucking, well, I don't mean to say the F word, sorry. I
Yeah.
need to kind of, pull myself up and do better.
I want to respond to Alpha Proto. Yeah. Reach out to somebody if you need to. Reach out to me if you need to talk to somebody. I'll be around after work tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, if you need somebody to talk to, because I'm dealing with something very similar. So, but yeah, definitely reach out to somebody that you trust. And if you don't have anybody like that, you can reach out to me.
Yeah.
The same
Absolutely,
here.
man.
I'm
Yeah.
all ears.
Yeah.
Just
That's
shoot
what I
me
love
in
about
line.
this community is the ability to, sit in the background and on like a private chat and just open up
Yeah.
because we are strangers, but one and the same.
Yeah.
After you
yeah.
watch someone for like maybe 5
Yeah.
months and you get to know them and then you start talking, it's like, wow, this is very cathartic. It's not,
Yeah.
you don't have to raise your hand in the federal government system or the medical system and go, I'm crazy, I need help, which is
Yeah,
very,
exactly. And
I've had to do that and it worked out well, but some people would rather do it this route, which works. And
and
some
to,
and with family sucks sometimes.
and that's
Family will be like,
exactly.
shut up, stop being such a bitch.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
that,
all right, you're not even on my level. I gotta
yeah.
go. Yeah.
I don't even consider myself having family anymore.
Yeah.
But there is this men's community app called We Connect, and you can download it on your phone. And they have weekly meetings, men's groups. You can be anonymous. You don't have to speak. You can just be there
Mhm.
and listen to other people and stuff like that. If you feel like talking to, sharing what's going on with you, they have trained therapists there that are that are there to
Accommodate. Yeah.
accommodate and to help the
Yeah.
meeting flow and stuff like that. So I highly recommend looking up We Connect, all one word, and get in on that because I think it's a free service. It used to be, but it's it's what I use. So
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, Alpha.
uh,
I feel that way too, and that's why I have my side groups. I have my side people that help me because some people that know you too well, they don't understand what you're going through, and they're not going
yeah,
to be much help. If anything,
y-
they're going to go, "Wow, oh,"
yeah,
and judge
exactly.
you. So, and there are people like that, but
Yeah,
don't think that everyone is like that because there's a lot of people like
exactly.
us out there that are like, "Hey, me too," you too, sort of thing.
Exactly. Because it's cathartic for both parties. For people that reciprocate those feelings and stuff and understand what you're going through, it helps both parties.
Yep.
So yeah, I would highly recommend reaching out to somebody.
Yeah.
So
And I at the last job I worked at, these people that work with people that have addiction issues or depression, whether it's mental or physiological issues, like every one of them, like when you call them, there's something in their background that they've been through. Like there's not one person. No, there's not one person I met throughout my life, even psychiatrists that kind of after like maybe 8 sessions, and psychiatrists are there to give you pills. They're not there to help you through life. But
yeah,
after a while, you get to know them and you're like, oh, you're fucked up too. That's interesting. And then next thing you know, you turned your psychiatry appointment for medication into a therapy session.
yeah,
Even though they're not supposed to, not by law, but by basis
Yeah.
of their job. If there's a therapist and then there's also someone that wants to go, hey, how's your medication going? And then next thing you know, you're talking about this motherfucker at work. Sorry.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
No, I
I did
get
it
you.
again.
No, don't worry.
Damn, roadkill. Always
I
spoiling.
know. My mouth, dude. My mouth. I need to
Yeah.
We need to
calm
zip
the
it
farm.
up.
Calm the farm.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Double A. I like the Green Ranger over the White Ranger. I love them both though, because it's Tommy Oliver either way.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah.
do like the white one better. I like the white, gold, and black. I think that looks a little bit more dope. But whatever.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think
hear
that's
He
you.
just
prefers
aesthetics.
white power over green power.
Yeah. Well, it's the white lights. Tyrone Magnus.
Tyrone.
Power Ranger has been revealed, and sources are saying that it was apparently self-deletion.
Yeah, I remember this.
Yeah.
Man, was this sad.
Yeah.
He unalived himself.
Yeah. In a hotel room with the door locked from the
And
outside, I
not
think.
only was it a shock to get the
It was
it's a
something weird
shock
like
now
that.
to get the news that
Mm.
was the cause.
Yeah.
I
You know, wasn't
really
it
was
almost the
expecting
same
something
as
else.
a couple
Yeah.
other
He's an athlete.
actors
Yeah.
that somehow died like this?
When you're hearing about athletes, it's usually a few things.
And he was there
And
with
for some reason, I just didn't
his
care.
wife that he
I
was.
don't know the man personally. Right?
Yeah.
They were getting a
When I
divorce,
heard
but
that,
they
I was
were.
like, man.
It was
And the
said that they were
fact
getting back
apparently he was
together.
going through a divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he
Yeah.
just said. Yeah,
And
exactly.
he lost a stepdaughter to it. Like, a
Yeah.
year
And
ago or
he
And-
posted a
and-
video like
and
a
his
day
brother.
or so before
And
saying
his
how
bro-
much he looked forward
there's a meme
to the
out
next
there
cons he was doing.
that,
Yep. And Tyrone just said that his stepdaughter also did this exact same thing, but it was also his brother that starred as his brother in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers episodes, and he
Yeah.
always said he would never do this.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
in
Yeah,
terms.
it's a shame he
And
passed away.
I'm all right.
It's just all a little sus, isn't it?
It really is. I've always had really weird thoughts about it.
The guy is really struggling. Men suffer in silence because it's men.
I'm not going to say what I think because I don't want to get sued, but
I would save that for your channel.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
we'll get my channel shut down.
Yeah.
Feeling of their feelings as women, so we tend to bottle things up.
Yep.
It's not.
Yep.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
That's why we would rather talk to a tree than a woman.
About being a crybaby about things.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay to always,
Or at least open up about our feelings anyway.
Usually, if a man is over emotional,
I'll hit one up all day,
there's a
but
mental issue or there's a hormonal issue going on.
Do you know what I remember where I was when certain historical figures died?
yeah,
And I remember exactly where I was
Yeah,
for this
same
one
here.
too.
yeah.
Where was it?
This one hit me harder than any other
You know what it
because
I
I
was-
I actually met him, like I knew him, like in a way, you know.
Yeah, I am kind of jealous. Like I never got to meet him. I really wish I could have.
He was a good guy, man.
I was watching Az's afternoon tea,
Yeah.
and then I started noticing things in the chat, and then he mentioned it.
There's a different type of stress.
I was like, "What?
Wow.
This can't be right."
Yeah, exactly. Just yeah. After
Yeah.
everything that we had heard about what he's been through with his family, his brother, his
Yep.
stepdaughter,
Exactly.
and I mean when he was in pro MMA, he was on the because I bought a pair of trunks that he was selling as merchandise, and his motto was Jesus didn't tap. So
Yeah.
like
And he had it,
like,
he had it tattooed on his body as well.
exactly. So his whole thing was like, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to tap out of this.
Yeah.
Children
Exactly.
and adults now
Well,
across the world.
like I said, a lot of actors and some athletes have been the same way. Well, I don't want to say too much, but you know, it's always very suspicious on certain deaths.
Yeah.
And
Chris Cornell. That was the one that hit me the hardest
Yeah.
Wow.
because I knew that was fake. Something happened.
Well,
Yeah.
Chester Bennington as well. That was another tough one.
You know, so
Mhm.
he must have been going through some dark stuff, man. You
Yep,
take yourself out
dark
because
stuff.
that's not something that happens instantly. That's something that happens over time. The anxiety and the stress that comes with what he was as a celebrity, it can be very strenuous.
Very strange.
As a matter of fact, I remember a guy speaking about self-deletion, and he was saying that it seems to be a privilege of the rich. So, in other words, a lot of people would think that maybe poorer people or people in poverty are the ones that are going to do it because, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have the money. You know what I mean? But it's not.
No.
Yeah.
It's a different perspective that you know, I think celebrities view the world in, and when you reach that level, you find out a lot of things that the masses don't know. You deal with stuff that the masses don't have to deal with. You now mean so much to people that people identify with you so much. you get love letters, and you get hate mail from people. Who knows, man? Like I've read about.
Could you just pause that for a second?
Anxiety problem.
Well, because like what he's saying with the celebrities itself is there's a lot of like in the 90s we didn't have that much social media, okay, and nowadays we have so much of it, and that probably builds up quite a lot of issues, and then also you get a lot of fans start knowing about a lot more about the actual actor or actresses as well, which can cause more issues too. But with all the fandom saying, "Oh, you like this," and then you could get hate mail even more. So I think social media has definitely added more to it too. I just didn't want to talk over the person.
Just like a heart attack, but it's not a heart attack.
Yeah. Alpha Proto's. Wow, this topic got really introspective. Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Panic attacks. It's incredible. Once I experienced it, I was like, now I get it. Now I understand why there's people that walk around anxious.
We lost Tommy, but you know who will be forever cool?
And why this stuff happens.
The Green Ranger.
Uh-huh.
And that's the thing we need to remember.
I didn't think
and he was the embodiment of
I
it.
was going through it. I was just
as well as the White
He was
Ranger.
the embodiment of the Power Rangers franchise in general.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I had
Top to bottom. Yeah.
I mean, even when in Super Mega Force they had all the Rangers come, he was the leader of the Rangers that came to help. Like he was right in the middle.
It was very brief. I'm serious, very brief. Like
he was
a couple of seconds brief during the initial heartbreak. You know what I mean? But
in the same way that people think of Wolverine as like the X-Man, Jason David Frank was always, as Tommy, the Power Ranger.
Yeah. He loved being the Power Ranger too. He loved being a hero to kids. He was very against that mature short film that was made because he thought that the Power Rangers should be just for kids. He wanted to be like a hero and not give, I guess, depression to any generation. Which makes sense now that thinking about it.
It just didn't want to bring in the real world kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Like war and
exactly
all of that. So
Alpha Proto, Tommy coming back for Dino Thunder got me back into watching, and me too.
Nice.
Which also a lot of actors get pushed on with all the ideals and everything like that to be then pushed onto us.
Yeah, it was really cool how Tommy came back to be like the new Zordon, basically, in that series.
Yeah.
Wow.
Going through something.
Really?
Yep.
Tell someone.
That is interesting.
You may believe that nobody cares. That is false. There is someone that cares.
But that's hard to convince a person that's going through it too. What Tyrone's saying,
it is.
You
have to finally step out and find someone.
Exactly.
And it's not that hard. It just takes that first step. It's like anyone with like addiction issues. It's like, dude, I can't do this. It's like, no, you can. You definitely can.
Care about people. They sympathize and
like I said, always talk to your closest mates and your family if things go wrong, because they're the ones who probably help you the most. You can, like Roku said, you can ring up these people and they probably will help you as well. And some of them probably have gone through all this and definitely help you as well. But me personally, I think talking to your closest mates, not just any of your mates, just your closest one and family is probably the best way to get yourself help.
Overwhelmingly, I keep seeing in the comments from people that met him how good of a person he was.
He was. He really was. Yeah. He really hurt his back on the night that I was talking about when he did his first pro MMA fight. He hurt his back because he made the guy submit with an arm bar, and he fell on the guy's leg on his back and kind of twisted his back. He was in so much pain but he made sure to stay to talk to all his fans. He made sure to stay and do a card trick or two with me and sign my deck of cards, take a picture.
Nice.
I mean, he was awesome.
Yeah,
loving yourself,
quite the legacy he left behind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it sucks when the good ones have to go. When we're left with the bad ones.
Really, it does.
Become the best version.
We even lost the original Doctor Doom over the past couple of weeks.
And
Yeah.
found out how much.
Yeah, that's true. That was really surprising, actually.
Yeah, it was Abe. I never thought he would die at age 56.
I saved their life.
Well,
Yeah.
we've lost so many people this past year. So many. I mean, James Earl Jones. I mean, yeah. I mean,
Dude, every year when the news does like the national or local news will do like a who have we lost this year?
In
It's like
memoriam type,
mind-boggling. I'm like, holy crap, dude! That many great actors or just iconic figures.
It's gonna get so numerous that they're just gonna skip it. Just list a bunch of names.
Yeah,
it really is. This past year, I don't know how many streams I've been on where we've been memorializing certain figures of our past.
Yeah.
He's an icon, martial arts icon,
I know.
TV icon. He had a wife. They're out in the divorce, but he also had children. To know that all that's there that you're leaving behind, you can't be in a proper mental state.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone's in a proper mental state when they decide to self-delete. So call someone. Approach a stranger on the street. A police officer on the street. Email someone. Okay. Jump on Twitter. You can get a lot of support on
definitely.
Twitter. You can.
Yeah. And you don't have to you don't have to open up and go, I think I fucking hate myself and I don't like anything. Dude, just talk. Just hey, how you doing, man?
Yeah, exactly.
Just start at a very small point, and that helps. It does. You don't have to come out and go, I'm thinking about doing this, and freak them out, because you might freak some people out by doing that.
What I'm asking you to do is
I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the chat just for anybody that needs it. That any of the mods want to approve that. That is my handle. It's just my name, Theta of the Grid with no spaces on X at Theta of the Grid. If y'all need somebody to talk to, reach out to me.
My life ain't worth it.
Sure, I'll take care of it.
He's an icon. More people love him than don't like him. He gets more love from people than there's always going to be people that don't like him. But look at him. He's one of the greatest of all time. In a couple of arenas. He's one of the greatest action stars of all time. And he's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Arguably the greatest wrestler of all time. None of that would have been done if he decided to give in. Don't give up on yourself.
Yeah.
Post your comments down below.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Ending one's life is never the solution.
Yeah. I think we're gonna need to wrap it up tonight, guys, but we will continue.
Yeah. We can go on season 2 another time or something.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, season 2. I'm looking to schedule sometime, probably September. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Let me know. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks again for coming, guys. What do you got, guys? What do you each got coming up before?
Who goes first? Valkyrie.
Oh, okay. So I'm not really a streamer. I watch all you wonderful people. So I would say you guys need to jump on the streams for these individuals, and hit a like and all that sort of stuff. They're all wonderful streamers that spend their time, entertaining us, including Roku.
Awesome.
I'm sure we all try.
For me, every Sunday I do a Mystery Science Theater 3000 type of show where you just riff on some movies, just tell jokes and just have fun. Called Cosmic Data Theater 2117. Sunday mornings, sometimes I do a action hour or action double hour. Right now we're watching Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future. On Tuesdays, I have the Phenomenon Files where we discuss real worlds, paranormal events, and kind of go through and break them down if they're if there's any evidence of them or what the story is. And then we also go through like movie spirits and stuff, and we classify them into Theta's Spirit Guide. And yeah, other than that, we do game nights. And lately, I've been having Meatwad show up and host some radio programs. So yeah, y'all can meet Meatwad if you want. I think he's around. I think he's around here somewhere.
Sweet.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Hey, everybody out here. What's up, everybody? We're just gonna have some fun. All right, talking about some Power Rangers tonight. All right, well, you have have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, good night.
All right.
That's some legit meat one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. So, yeah, and here's your. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That'll do it. Have a good night, guys. And
Abe, you got a lot going on too.
I do. Yeah.
Yep.
You can find me
everywhere.
Yeah, about 8 hours from now, I'll be on Grant Gregory's Full Aussie podcast, and we'll be doing some Stargate stuff.
Nice.
Then Friday, I'll be on Rockefeller Plaza's place, and we'll break a few things down there, and then that will begin my 27 to 30 hour stint of not sleeping because of all of the shows that I'm on at that point. So I'll be on Samuel the Infamous's, I'll be on Beelzebub, I'll be on Anime After Dark, I'll be on a bunch of things. So
Awesome.
just monitor my Twitter at Abe's Gonna Get You. I'll tweet everything out, and hopefully see some of you.
Yeah, and how about you, Roadkill?
So Mondays and Thursdays is with Noise Pollution. That's a fun open show where we just talk about different subjects. What I like about that show a lot is we talk about a lot of like fringe things, anywhere from politics to Bigfoot to aliens. It could be whatever is this the topic. But and then Tuesdays and Thursdays when if they have room for me, I'm on Toasty's channel. So Noise, Toasty, and then I'll be on Ryan's this Friday. I'm on Ryan Roger Athay on Rumble every other Friday.
Yeah, that Toasty and Ryan are both awesome.
I'm just a commentator at this point. But what I'm trying to do is I'm getting to know. Well, now I know the community. Now I just want to remain in there because I'm on my way with creating my own gaming stream, and
awesome.
Where we can do things like this where. Whether it's watching things, I want to just game stream and then also offer any sort of like, talk that people want to come in and just talk about things, like we just did just now, with Jason and, how he, what he did.
Yeah.
But, that was the sort of thing where that sort of talk is what I want to involve people with, because just trying to create a cool empty space for people to vibe out.
Cool.
But anyway, so Noise, Toasty, Ryan, I'm drifting around there, but also waiting to start my own thing. But just a commentator. I don't,
Well, reach out to me, and you can come on my stream sometime if you want.
Awesome. Yeah, I was just gonna say, give me a shout as well. That all sounds interesting. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Also, Roku,
reach out on X.
Discord with Dan, Furious Dan as well.
Furious Dan's awesome.
That's where Dan. I'm usually on his Discord while he's gaming, but we do link up and play games together. But But yeah, Furious Dan is also another one that is
Yeah.
like a big supporter of me. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, so you're probably on the Discord with that John takes care
Yep.
of, right?
I'm on that one. But no one really, even John jokes about it. No one hangs out there, so I'm mostly on Dan's, or I just created my own recently. But
Okay.
I'm mostly on Dan's.
Yeah.
That's where. Yeah.
I still post my stuff on there, so maybe I'll just I'll fix mine up. But
Yeah,
anyway,
or just DM me. Yeah.
Yeah, reach out to me on X at Theta of the Grid. So.
Right on.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I've just followed you, so
Oh,
follow me
cool.
back.
Well, I'll
What's up?
follow you right back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
that's so sweet.
I know, right?
And
Look at this
thank
networking.
you so much, Sergeant Giratina, for inviting us all and
Yeah,
having this
seriously.
opportunity.
You're very
Thanks for
welcome,
that.
Theta.
Yeah, thanks for letting us discuss this stuff, and thank you for letting me be on as well. It's
course.
actually been very good.
Aye.
Yeah, catch you all next time.
All right. Take
All
care.
right. See you
Yeah.
later.
Enjoy.
Good
All
night.
right.
folks.
Reach out if you need help. Morphin, may the power protect you.
Yes, thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
Yep. Take care.